There was a time when Italian football didn't just command respect, it demanded fear. Italy didn't chase trends, it dictated the rhythm of the sport itself. Built on ironclad defense and a midfield educated in tactical warfare, Italian football shaped the game with a philosophy that was both beautiful and brutal. And from that philosophy, one word was born: catenaccio, the door bolt, a system obsessed with defensive perfection. But catenaccio wasn't just a tactic, it was a statement, a reflection of a nation that found glory in discipline, structure, and the elegance of a 1-0 win. This is a country with 4 World Cups, 2 European Championships, clubs that once ruled Europe: AC Milan, Juventus, Inter, and legends at every position: Maldini, Baresi, Baggio, Buffon, Cannavaro. Italian football wasn't just elite, it was the gold standard. Even when they weren't the flashiest, they were the most feared. But that Italy is gone. Today, the Azzurri aren't feared, they're doubted. The last time Italy played a World Cup match, 2014. The last time they played a World Cup knockout game, 2006. Let that sink in. A 4-time world champion hasn't been relevant on football's biggest stage for nearly 2 decades. So, what happened? How did a nation that once wrote football's rulebook become one struggling just to qualify? To understand the fall, we have to remember the peak. The foundations of dominance long before tiki taka, before gegenpressing, before modern analytics, Italy had already mastered control. Back to back World Cups in 1934 and 1938 laid the early foundation. Yes, it was another era. Yes, politics were involved, but those victories helped shape football's tactical future. After World War II, those foundations evolved. By the 1980s and especially the 1990s, Serie A wasn't just competitive, it was the league. The best players in the world played in Italy: Maradona, Platini, Van Basten, Gullit. Every weekend felt like a chess match. Catenaccio evolved too. It wasn't just parking the bus. It relied on a sweeper or libero tight man, marking tactical intelligence, ruthless counterattacks. It didn't press high like modern systems, but it had fewer holes. It absorbed pressure, then killed you on the break. To outsiders, it looked defensive. To Italians, it was genius, and it worked. Italy lifted another World Cup in 1982, and then in 2006, they did it again. Not with flashy dominance, but with discipline. Cannavaro's leadership, Pirlo's genius, a defense that gave nothing away. That 2006 team was the final masterpiece of a old school Italian supremacy. And then everything collapsed. The illusion of permanence. After 2006, Italy believed the formula would last forever, but success bred complacency. The legends aged: Cannavaro, Gattuso, Del Piero. The next generation never fully replaced them. Youth development slowed. Germany rebuilt after early 2000s failures. Spain modernized. France invested heavily in academies. Italy patched holes. Then came Calciopoli. The scandal shattered trust in Serie A's integrity. Reputation damaged. Investment slowed. The league lost global appeal. And while the Premier League exploded financially, Serie A stagnated. Old stadiums, weak marketing, limited foreign investment. Italian football became rich in tradition, but poor in innovation. Tactical stagnation football evolved. Spain dominated with possession. Germany rebuilt with youth and pace. England modernized financially and structurally. Italy stayed loyal to its past. Now, don't get it twisted. Catenaccio can still work, but only if you have world class defenders and midfield generals. Without elite talent, the system becomes a cage. And that's exactly what happened. The philosophy that once empowered Italy became its prison. The collapsed 2010 World Cup. Reigning champions. Out in the group stage. No wins. That should have been the wake up call. It wasn't. 2014. Another group stage exit. Then 2018. Rock bottom. Italy failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1958. A historic humiliation. Behind the scenes, federation instability, leadership confusion, no long term vision. While others rebuilt ships, Italy kept repainting a sinking one. The false dawn, Euro 2020, and then out of nowhere, Roberto Mancini reinvented Italy. High pressing, energy, fluid passing. They didn't look stuck in 1995 anymore. They beat Belgium, they beat Spain, they beat England at Wembley. European champions, the country erupted. It felt like rebirth. But it wasn't reform, it was momentum. 15 months later, Italy failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup, losing to North Macedonia. Euro 2020 wasn't a revolution, it was an exception. The current reality today, Italian football exists in limbo. Yes, there are good players. Donnarumma is world class, Bastoni, Barella. Inter reached a Champions League final. There are signs of life. But the depth isn't there. The fear factor isn't there. Financially, Serie A trails far behind the Premier League. Stadium projects move slowly. Global branding feels outdated. Too often, clubs prioritize short term veterans over long term youth planning. And the national team, manager carousel, identity confusion. A country unsure whether to protect its past or embrace its future. Is it over? No, it's not irreversible. Italy's U20s reached the 2023 World Cup final. There are talented youngsters emerging. Tactically, Serie A is becoming more diverse. Structural reform discussions are happening, but talk isn't transformation. If Italy wants to rise again, it must modernize infrastructure, invest aggressively in youth, embrace tactical evolution, market itself globally, let go of romantic nostalgia because history alone doesn't win matches. And if Italy wants to be feared again, they must learn not only how to defend, but how to lead, how to innovate, how to adapt. Italian football isn't dead, but it's at a crossroads. And unless it chooses evolution over nostalgia, the tragedy won't be the fall. The tragedy will be that the fall was preventable.